Donda, 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 Donda. How's it going, guys? This is Trey Bell, and this is Arcane Frequencies. And today, we are going to be reviewing the one and only Donda by Kanye West. Now, before I get into the review, we all know this probably is one of Kanye's most anticipated albums, and I would say probably the past 5 years. Like, I don't think even though this album definitely has kind of like the same type of presence and vibe as like when he came out with T-Lop, The Life of Pablo. You know, I feel like just out of all the grandiose rollouts he's ever done in his whole entire career, this is one of the most elaborate and just also probably for most people irritating. Like I low key knew like the album wasn't probably gonna come out on the actual day that it was gonna come out. That's why I went to the third listening party in Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. If you guys found this channel off of that video, yeah, that's kind of the purest reason why I went. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna hear the album in whatever form that it's in, and if it doesn't come out, at least I heard it. And I'm glad I went to that performance. That it's pretty much an art performance, probably most expensive art performance I've ever seen in my whole entire life, and it was good. And yeah, that was like just the cultic Christian, like culty type of feel that he was going for. Everyone dressed in black, like the whole entire general admissions was just that one big circle. But yeah, you can look at the video if you haven't seen it, where I do my first vlog for that listening party. It was spectacular. But overall, yeah, it's just, this is definitely, like, even just Kanye and himself, this is definitely probably one of the most intense turning points in his career. Whereas, like, yeah, Kanye is always reinventing himself, but this seems like a more, it's like he's gotten to a certain stage where it's like this is the solidified him, in my opinion, and it's only just going to branch out from that point, where the past like 2 decades of his whole entire career has just been this dude trying to prove himself, for better or for worse, let's be real, and in the most intense, abrasive ways, and even in ways that, like, I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I can stand by this. From the Trump shit to, you know, I mean, the Taylor Swift situation was how I figured out about Kanye. At least, like, figured out about, like, some of his impulsive motives. And yeah, the Hurricane Katrina one was also, like, I would say that was the first, like, Kanye outburst that, you know, I heard about, but I wasn't fully aware of who Kanye was at the time period, because I was still very young and I didn't have a good grasp on celebrities and music. I just knew specific ones. But yeah, ever since I started getting into Kanye from My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, all I can say is, like, I'm so glad I got into, like, trying to understand the madness behind this man's brain. And yeah, it's been a fucking wild ride, and I feel like it's just gonna get better from here on out, or maybe worse. Who knows? Who really knows? Who knows? But from what I can see from the past, since 2016, Kanye has definitely been going through a lot of shit, especially with his mental problems, and overcoming it, and honestly, a way that, like, he just keeps doing something that pisses people off, and people are not on his side, and he does something amazing again. Like he said on Yeezus, first they like you, make them unlike you, because kissing people's ass is so unlike you. Oh my goodness, like, this man, say what you want about this dude, but, like, he is here to stay and has made the biggest imprint out of any celebrity that I can personally think of. I mean, of course, you got Michael Jackson, but you know, like he said, the only rapper compared to Michael. Oh man, I've just been on a huge I've listened to Donda about 5 times straight through. So, I mean, yeah. With that said, let's just get into this review because this is gonna be probably a really long review. I'm gonna try to keep it as brief as possible, but you really can't with this album. I remember when I woke up like on the 29th of that Sunday when it came out. I woke up around like 9 or something, and then I think the album came out in 8:15 or something like that, and I just remember like, oh shit, it's out. So that's how I spent my Sunday listening to that whole entire album, and I loved it on first listen. It's, in my opinion, this is Kanye's best album. I mean, definitely, there's still a lot of aspects of it that are a little bit like off that probably can be tweaked, kind of like on the Life of Pablo. Uh, Definitely certain mastering stuff that felt like it could be a bit better. I feel like most people from other reviews can agree with that, but whether that was purposeful or not, who knows? But the main construction of this album, again, this has a more Life of Pablo, and even just going back to the old school Kanye of like, college dropout, late registration. I mean, first just with having long songs in general and a long album, which really has kind of been lost since the 2000s when it comes to most rap music in particular. But yeah, there's so much to wrap around when it comes to this album, and there probably still will be, but I feel like at 5 listens straight through and just listening to various amounts of songs, and just to the point where like I feel like I can like literally just go through this whole entire album in different forms and still appreciate it, because it's like one consecutive thing, but it's so many different things in all. Like this is, he literally brought all different aspects of all of his albums throughout his career into this one particular album, specifically of course the Jesus King vibe and like the reborn Christian, his actual life changing mentality now to go back to God. And like he's kind of always said in some of his music, because all of his music has always had gospel aspects to it, but he is definitely doubling down, and I feel like is making a perfect representation of merging secular music and Christian music together in a way that doesn't seem too off-putting, but at the same time is still kind of keeping that purity that you would hear in most Christian music. Because like me growing up Christian, like I can relate to this album a little bit more than like the average like listener who probably didn't grow up with a Christian based faith. So for me, I feel like Kanye is definitely like speaking to like people like me who like, yeah, I like church, but the music is good, but certain aspects about it just kind of be a little bit too overbearing, and I feel, and I still like that, that hood, like, secular radio play music too. But like I would say this is definitely another zeitgeist moment for Kanye. Papa Willie on the zeitgeist. All right, into the album review. Let's go. All right, so Donda Chant. Well, I just did that for you guys, so. Second song, Jail. All right, Jay-Z and Kanye West reunite. You heard on the album, song, one of my favorite bars from Jay-Z on this is when he was telling, stop all that red cap, we going home. Of course, you know what that's alluding to. This is, it's just so good to see these guys back together. That's kind of all I can say. And then like with the chorus, guess who's going to jail tonight? Like, dude, nice little good start off to the album. Yeah, God Breathe. The song has Jesus vibes with Kanye spitting some of the most focused bars I have ever heard him rap before. And the beautiful cathedral-like hymns that are prevalent throughout his career, with his disembodied yelp that gives it that experimental edge you would hear on Jesus that plays out through the rest of the song, giving it a slow burner type of outro. Yeah, I like this song a lot. Like, this is like kind of a, again, definitely has that more Jesus is King, Yeezus type of vibe, which makes sense because like I do feel like Jesus is King and Yeezus, like other than like the similarities and just like that minimalistic type of aspect to it, this definitely is evoking like both of those albums perfectly. And this is an example of like how he's merging certain particular albums with each other, some more than others, but there's still so many elements throughout the whole entire album where I feel like everything is like just converging. And then we got Off the Grid, and we got Cardi coming in with that whole lot of red type of style that he's recently developed over the years, and definitely bringing that punk vibe. This song has a monumental cult gathering type of vibe with different types of 808s weaved through the song. A hype verse from Playboy Cardi and a whole lot of red fashion. 5AO Foreign's verse was straight fire. And I'll be honest, I never really listened to a lot of 5AO Foreign, but after hearing him on this, like, I'm gonna definitely check this dude out. But this dude, and also I would say 5AO definitely had one of the best verses, like when it comes to features on here. Him and along with the baby. But I'll get into that like towards the last leg of the album. But yeah, straight fire. Kanye West, and also like the fact that this song is technically like it has that rage type of feel that like it's been going on with like beats now, and like what Cardi's been doing, and then it turns into a straight drill beat, and of course for Kanye to even just like alter his like flows that he usually does on most of this album and actually just take a stab at doing this type of flow. Dude, I have never heard Kanye go this hard. And it's even, I mean, it's suiting because, like, dude, niggas from Chicago, bro. Like, so, I'm going to try to not cuss, in respect for this album. So, what Kanye is doing for this album and just, taking a stab at a new flow, like, I love the sound. It fits him so perfectly. And yeah, it's just a excellent track. And that Adam bar about ribs is also really funny. That was a funny part, Kanye moment right there. And then we got the fifth song, Hurricane. And if anyone knows Hurricane, during the Yandhi time period, that already was kind of a song that was meant to be on that album, and then of course it went through all its revisions through that time, but of course Yandhi never officially came out. It was on YouTube, so it's like kind of it's available, just not officially. But yeah, this is, I would have to say, with The Weeknd being the main singer for that chorus, and it just suits him so perfectly, and like just that vibe. And then Kanye coming in with like those I think this is that song. Hold up, let me just clarify. Oh yeah, and just the whole like pretty much kind of like a little jab at like people who just judge him based off his antics for good reasons, and sometimes a little bit too much reasons. But yeah, like such a Kanye moment of like everybody's so judgmental. I love it. And then Praise God. Oh man, this also has like a military vibe. And I remember actually when I went to the performance, every time I hear this song I just think of that third listening party where it's just like he has because this is like when all the people in black start coming into the arena, and then like start circling around Kanye, and Kanye's in his mask dressed in all black doing push-ups and stuff like that. Like that's like, I was like, dude, this is some military Christian occult vibes right now. I didn't even know anyone can make something like this. Like only Kanye. But yeah, Kanye has an interesting complex flow on the hook. Baby Keem is the highlight, and the gospel chants have a slight occult tinge to it, but still sounds powerful. A military type of vibe with how the 808s hit. Like just, it's like when like that one like a sample of, it's just like that people just saying, "Hey," it's just like, dude, this is some gathering music right here. Like really good. Love this a lot. Then you have Jonah, very calm vibe, but still giving an assertive presence in the lyrics. Lil Durk does his thing in a perfect Durk fashion. Vori has a melodic, slightly math rap type of flow. Kanye going in with his slight talking and ranting type of flow that just fits for the song. Um, yeah, another. I would definitely say this song is definitely giving me more of the, like, I just thought of this now, like this feels like something like I probably could hear off of The Life of Pablo, again mixed in with so many other elements of his music, because like everything he's like, I would say primarily I'm hearing more like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, The Life of Pablo, Yeezus sprinkled in its proper places. Of course, primarily gospel feel, but also it was just with the structure of this album being like his older music in the early 2000s. Like, yeah, like I feel like this song is definitely illuminating though all those elements perfectly, but still with like the songwriting style, it feels like something I feel like I probably would hear off of T-Lop. And then okay okay has the same type of vibe, like the song Fade off of The Life of Pablo, definitely getting more of those vibes from this song. Good solid assurance song that will be okay to play like every once in a while. Like it's not my absolute favorite, but like I still I like a lot of elements off of every single song off of this album, even if it's not my favorite. But this definitely has like a lot of good moments to it. And then one of my absolute favorites, Junya Watanabe Yamari, with Kanye coming in with a very good like Playboy card, at least like what I would consider good. Like I know a lot of people actually don't fuck with the song as much as I would thought they would, but like I really like the Playboy Cardi sound and like how he's incorporated like that minimalistic type of like uh just saying things like pretty much just rapping and ad libs, and Kanye hopping on this type of vibe, and also with like I would say Kanye is definitely exuding more of those like Playboy Cardi type of vibes with this too. Oh wait, no, I'm mixing that with Off the Grid. Sorry, but no, like yeah, this is just like a good like minimalistic, you know, Cardi type of vibe, and really like the song. Kanye riding the Playboy Cardi flow, of course, with Cardi on it, doing what Cardi does the best, repeating the phrase 4 5 summers, 4 5 summers, we took over, we took over, and just the minimal, poignant, and church organs playing a basic melody that resembles a rage type of beat, but the gospel version, of course, telling the devil to go to sleep at the end. I'm reading off my phone. I misspelled that. Oh well. Either way, really love that song. That's a slap for me. One of the songs like whenever I don't want to like listen to the whole entire album, I just go straight to this song a lot. It just gets me hyped up. Then you got the 10th song, Believe What I Say. Believe What I Say, Kanye is bringing the graduation in the 808 and heartbeats type of vibe back with the glitz and glamour type of feel, but with more self-realized lyrics than he had during that time period. The gospel still shines in a very subtle way, very catchy hook. Like, yeah, this when it comes, of course, for me, like I first heard Kanye probably around like the 2007 era, like with graduation songs and like of course like the hit songs like The Good Life, and so I'm definitely getting those vibes from this, and just like the melody, oh my god, the melody, and just also just Kanye even saying stuff like, don't let the lifestyle drag you down, when was the last time you felt the love, and again to kind of bring it back to like where Kanye is in his life at the moment. Like it's good for an artist of his caliber to even say something as simple as that, knowing how much influence he has had on the culture all over the world, where it is consumed in just like consumeristic culture, and like we live in this capitalistic society, but at the same time, like yeah, you know you can enjoy it, but at the same time, like don't let it drag you down. because like then you're just becoming a slave to like what you always thought you want. And like for Kanye to make a song that still sounds like something you just want to like celebrate to, and just like, you know, go out into the night into Las Vegas or something and just live it up, like it's just like, remember, don't let that be your life. And this is also another favorite song of mine, like like this is a song I have been having on repeat for like the last week now, like every single day, because like these are literal food for thoughts, like, because at the end of the day, all that shit does not last. Sorry, but still, it's just powerful song. The message is powerful. I mean, of course, still in typical Kanye fashion, with like just some of his lines being so ridiculous. But yeah, I really love this song. And then we got the song 24, primarily just straight gospel, Jesus is King, church choir stuff. Like, this is what this purely is. You know, 3-minute interlude. But Kanye just like, and, you know, again, for me, growing up Christian, like, I can relate to this, and just hearing Kanye like express himself purely in this type of way shows that he still has always kept his Christian foundations, and I can really appreciate that, despite like how all his life, like, he's definitely been running the devil train, and like, you know, none of us are perfect, but at the same time, it's good to know that like he is still keeping that like foundation strong with this. And like, dude, Kanye's singing has gotten really good over the years. Like, this is some of the best singing he's ever done, in my opinion. I mean, even just even throughout the other aspects of this album. But yes, like 24, good interlude, just good gospel feel, and for the people who grow up in church, you know what I'm talking about. And then we have Remote Control, another favorite, something I go to all the time. Actually, I would say this is probably my favorite song to like go to, just like when I just want to listen to that one, like just get me in that mood, like Remote Control with Young Thug. And low-key, I know that like there's a lot of different versions of this album. When I went to the listening party, like there's actually a version of this that had Kid Cudi on it, but I guess that got scrapped. And of course, we know there's a version where there's Soulja Boy on it, and that got scrapped, and Soulja Boy wasn't happy about it. So of course, that's why you see him beefing with Kanye and, you know, saying shit. Ah, man, this is what this time period needed. A good, nice beef between big celebrities. Like, and also I forgot to mention, yeah, like, going off topic slightly, but yeah, I will review the Drake album too, because like, of course, this is like, it's Donda and Certified Lover Boy being just toe to toe with each other. I've listened to like 10 songs off of Certified Lover Boy, loving it so far. Again, still very long, and like my attention span kind of needs a rest, because like I've kind of drained it out all on Donda, but you know, that's for another video. But yeah, Remote Control, like, please don't ask again who's up in my van, they're my only fans. Like, this, I make music too, and this is the type of melody that I would do in my music. I love, like, a lot of people, this is another song that a lot of people are kind of cold on in certain ways from other reviews I've saw, but like, I love this. Like, it's simple, catchy, and that's all I like about it. It's just, it's a vibe. You got this on Remote Control. I'm like, yes, I like it. Just, and even hearing Thug like spit some slightly spiritual bars, like, but it fits well for him. Like, with how perverse a lot of his lyrics have been, from talking about put that crack in the crack, put my brack in my brack, to, I forgot what the lyrics are, what he said that was slightly spiritual, but like, I feel like this is a good version. I feel like it's, yeah, just Young Thug and Kanye, this is all that song needed. Still appreciate the Kid Cudi verse, and like, you know, I can only like rehear it through like my listening party, because that's like when it was only performed, like, at least for me. And maybe that version's flowing out there somewhere if someone leaks it, I guess. But I'm happy with this Remote Control version. So, and then as we go to number 13, Moon, Kids See Ghosts, Kanye and Cudi just doing their thing, just vibing out. You know, Kanye is more in the background, where Cudi is definitely kind of the more center point. But yeah, this feels like, I feel like this is like the extension of like the end of Kids See Ghosts. Like after Cudi montage, I feel like this is like where that's going into. You know, I can't wait for another Kids See Ghosts project, but this is definitely a really, just to hear Cudi and Kanye, because they, like, despite their, you know, uh, fallout that happened at some point, I can't fully remember. You know, these brothers need to stay together. Like, they just have one of the best chemistries that I can ever imagine. And with Kanye, like, being the one of the first to sign him back in 2008, and like have pretty much Cudi on almost every single album other than Jesus is King, you know, from 808s, and also even saying Cudi is the reason why his music is partially the way that it is, with like how Cudi has expressed himself through his music, and them being both big figures. Of course, Kanye being more prevalent, but also both being people dealing with mental struggles. Like, it's just always just gonna be just a beautiful scene of like even just hearing Kid Cudi and Kanye purely just on a track with each other. I feel like they are a power couple. And now we got 14, Heaven and Hell, Kanye on a basic 1-2 type of flow, also doing some blast, like you heard on Kids See Ghosts, as I mentioned. You know, just Kanye again. This album is everywhere. Like, he is bringing everything to this album, but finding a way to like just properly weave it together. Like Kanye, like, it's calm, but it's also chaotic, very bloated. Let's just be real, but still, this is, you know, nice, good song. You know, not overtly that crazy about it. Like, it definitely has more of that Jesus is King type of like vibe, where it's just like, devil lay down, devil pray now. It's just a monumentous type of vibe. Definitely still alluding in a more type of interlude type of way, but so many, I don't know. I'm just trying to give you the best gist of like how I feel about this album, because like 5 listens, I still don't feel like it's enough to fully dissect it. Like, I am still on this train. And then we got Donda, rest in peace. Just some sample words from his mother. Another interlude track, primarily gospel inspired. You know, little good sweet point again, where it's definitely starting to enter into more of a gospel phase of the album. And then Keep My Spirit Alive, also another really good solid song. A lot of good food for thought. Like, the chorus is amazing. I think it's Vori on the chorus. I can't remember. I have to look at all the features, but all the like. And another thing about this album is very feature heavy, but like in a good way, where it's just like, even though Kanye is not really as prevalent as much as you feel like he should be, I feel like he's definitely like helped curating some of the best sounds from like some of our contemporary rappers that are out right now. You know, from all walks of life, especially like, you know, the more street and hood life, with like, you know, all the drill features from Dirk, 504, and just to name a couple. It's just like, he's really just trying to bring some of the most monumental artists right now that are very prevalent, but giving them like a nice, like, soulful, good foundation to like speak themselves. And Jesus is Lord, absolutely favorite song. I would say this is actually my number one favorite song, but I feel like I only like listening to this song within the midst of actually going through this album. I still listen to it like by itself, but it's just like, Jesus Lord, and tell me if you know someone that needs Jesus Lord. Like, that's enough said for that song. Like, and then just his food for thoughts on the lyrics. Like, just listen to the song. Like, I don't even want to like try to like describe it, because the song speaks for itself. And then New Again, another graduation vibe song with all forms of his music on it. You know, it's a pretty nice, good, solid song. And I'll be honest, this is kind of the part of the album, like kind of the later leg where, like when I first listened to this album, like this is kind of the part of the album that started to drag on a little bit for me. But with more listens, I started like gaining a new appreciation for them, and I'm still am to this day, because like even after this review, I'm gonna continue to digest this album more. But I feel like after 5 straight through listens, which is for an album, I've not done that ever, or at least not in a long time. Like this is a lot to take in. Um, but yeah, it's just like, at this point, this part of the album is definitely starting to just get to. I feel like they're just all merged within a certain sense of the spiritual aspect of Kanye is like prevailing, and these are just those. This is just the moments of the album that like I feel like the album was trying to get its main point across of like spiritual healing, and knowing that like this is dedicated to his mom, despite like the fact that I don't think his mom is like really mentioned in depthly as much as like we thought she was gonna be on the album. But I do feel like maybe that wasn't the point for Kanye to do. It's just more her as the symbol of the motherly figure, bringing him back to like where he knows he's always needed to be. And television, and be honest, like I feel like most people can agree, like I appreciate the Pop Smoke feature and acknowledgement, just in the fact that like he passed. But I'm kind of neutral on this song. I feel like it doesn't really need to be there. I mean, yeah, it's definitely like an interlude kind of tribute song, but I can appreciate like what he was going for, and like kind of like under mixing it to sound kind of ghostly. But I'm pretty sure like Kanye had a specific reason why he wanted to put that there, and like honestly, like maybe it just adds to interesting experimental factor. But it's, again, I'm neutral on it. I feel like it could have been done better. Don't know really how. And also, this song is also off of like Pop Smoke's latest posthumous album, where Kanye is featured on it, even though he's just saying random noises and ad libs that are kind of so radical that I'm like, what in the dude? Kanye just does whatever now. Well, he always has, but like even more now. It's just like, but but I can understand the sentiment of it. And then we got the song "Lord, I Need You," which another is a decent song for me. Again, like I would say this is probably like not the most standout song for me personally. Like there's definitely elements to it that I really like. Like the chorus is pretty sweet, but I would say this definitely has more type of like a filler vibe to it. It's this, knowing how many songs he probably has made for this album and all its different variations, I feel like this if those songs didn't make it on here, I feel like this is like good in the sense that like it's it's just that one little like it's a little sweet spot song, and Kanye is spitting in typical Kanye fashion, just speaking his mind. And then we have the song "Pure Souls," and I really love the chorus to this, like, and I cannot tell my soul. And Kanye again coming in with typical Kanye flow, like one of like just kind of like his ranty talking flow. I really like, because it's just like with that flow, he's just like, I don't know, it's just so Kanye. That's all I can say. It's just so Kanye, and like even for a song like this, like where it's just like the vibe does not match. It's just like temperament of it. It fits perfectly because he's just done so many like songs like this. And then just another song that's just so much good food for thought, like "The truth is the only thing you'll get away with, huh?" Like, again, like I honestly can probably make a video of just like all the good food for thought like messages on here. Probably will. This album, it's really hard to treat it like a basic album or even a basic Kanye album, because I really think he is trying to do something more monumental with this album, even other than it's just, typical release. And even his like listening parties, like I think there's supposed to be like some virtual reality that's supposed to go with like this album or something like that. Like he really is trying to like make this album expand into something we thought music really could not be. And like again, like if he he can definitely make updates to it, because for me, like, love the album. Definitely not perfect in the same way as other albums he's put out, but the message, I feel like, and just knowing where Kanye is, I'm just happy for the dude. I'm just happy that he can, get past like this hurdle that seems to have been plaguing his life. And even though it will probably always be there, but the fact that, he named the album after his mom, which I think for most of his career has been one of his biggest struggles, losing his mother, as it probably would be for like almost any guy or just any person in general. But yeah, it's just, I love it. And then Come to Life, like, honestly, this just kind of, this is a pure ballad in my opinion. This is a ballad, like a soulful, like, gospel type of, like, I don't even, like, I'm still fully trying to digest this song. I remember when I first heard it, I was like, oh, this is nice. But, of course, like, I knew it was the ending of the album, so it had that, like, ending climacticness to it. But then I saw the official music video where they just filmed, like, his last listening party when he was in Chicago, coming out, like, in a blaze of fire, and then, like, coming to Kim in a wedding dress. And it's just like, whoa. And it just gave the song a new meaning for me. And I, like, and then I just started listening to it more just by itself. I'm like, yeah, this is the song where Kanye is just like, he just wants to, like, heal and, get past the darkness that he's been going through his whole entire career, whether inflicted or self-inflicted. But, like, I'm just speechless by this song now that I've, like, actually taken the time to, like, listen to it more and just be like, dude, it's just, like, it's just a song that, honestly, I really can't think should be even expressed with words. Like, you just need to feel this song. And then, of course, like, we got technically, which is the closing, even though we have, like, the four songs with, like, part twos. This is essentially the closing of the album, No Child Left Behind. And I remember when I was at the listening party in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, this is, like, the part where he levitates. And I just, like, anytime I hear this song, I just think about that moment. Like, you see it in, like, the thumbnail for the video I had posted. Like when I was taking that video, this song was playing. And so, like, in my head, it's cemented with that particular moment. And yeah, just a beautiful closing of the album. Just a beautiful closing, kind of. And then you have all the part twos. You got Jail Part 2 with DaBaby and Marilyn Manson. And yeah, DaBaby's verse, best feature on the whole entire album. Best feature. And yeah, despite all the shit he's going through with his controversies, along with Marilyn Manson. And also, little side note, yeah, I'm aware that a lot of particular articles out there are very upset at this collaboration, and I get it. I can understand the sentiment, especially in the time period that we in. Not saying that these guys were right for what they did or said. I just do think that it's a little bit unfair to base this whole entire album, and especially with the continuity of just Kanye's music, to place it on just these features, which obviously is just what I see from most of these articles. And with that said, I'm just gonna leave it at that. But yes, okay, part 2, just more added features. Honestly, even though it has more of a remix vibe, like, it's still really good. Even though I don't know who some of these people are, like, it's really good. Junya Part 2, I actually love this version much more better. Like, I love both of them, because I feel like the first Junya is, like, a good appetizer. But then you hear more Cardi on Junya Part 2, and like it's just like Cardi going to his like verse, like just like it came on my mattress, and I'm just like, yes, yes, more Cardi. And Ty Dolla Sign does his thing too on this, like just everything about this song. Like Junya, one of my favorite songs on this whole entire album. And then we have Jesus is Lord Part 2, and oh yeah, one thing I forgot about the Jesus is Lord, just the first one to mention. Like I really like that sample where he has Larry Hoover Jr. on the phone, and just kind of just hearing his words, and just like just especially just knowing just the black experience in general, with the which does seem like it's, even if you're not in jail, especially as a black individual, you know families and lineages, for especially for me, like we always feel like we're just locked down, because we can't do these certain things, or we have to try harder to do these certain things in this country. And I feel like this, I feel like it's good. Like even though like No Child Left Behind is the official closer, I do feel like Jesus Lord, in just like its melody, its chorus, also fits as another good outro. And you got the Lokes here, you got Jadakiss on here, and I never really listened to the Lokes. Like I know they're like old school, but it's just good seeing Kanye just bring groups that aren't together that much anymore, and like have them on a song, like kind of how he did with the Clips on Jesus is King. Like I really feel like it's just another example of how Kanye is like bringing back, going old school, but like in a more monumentous way. And again, the food for thought that Kanye spits on this is still resonating. And with that said, like, dude, I did not want this video to be long. Like, I know I can't really get away from that, but like, dude, there's still so much I want to talk about with this album, and I'll probably make more videos about this album too, because like it's only been out for a week, and it's gonna take years for me to fully like it's taken years for me to like fully even digest most of his career. I feel like this album has kind of even made more sense of his past albums, and just to see the evolution and the progress. And I feel like this is a very bold final statement of Kanye. One of the most boldest statements. And those statements are numerous. Like, we have to spend years trying to digest this album. And wherever Kanye goes from this point on, like, honestly, like, of course I would love to always know Kanye is making music, but like if he were to like stop making music out of nowhere, or this is his last album, like I would be happy with that. Like I feel like I feel like especially the past 4 years since 2016 is like, dude, like he's reached new heights, but has gone through the most hell and criticism for good reasons and not, to the point where it's just like, I think something needs to be sacrificed at this point. And like the Kanye that we've seen for the past 2 decades, I feel like has finally come to a closer, and now something even better is going to be like brought forth. I don't know. I mean, yeah, he's also changing his official name to Ye. So that's also, it's kind of like he's kind of like doing like a Prince thing, where like Prince changed his name to Symbol. He's just doing it Ye. So I do feel like this album is somewhat of like, it feels like it is a closer to the what we call Kanye West. Now he probably will still go under Kanye West as like, his musical name, but who knows? Who really knows, bro? I didn't even know this album cover was gonna be black. We really do not know what is going to happen from this point on, but all I know is that like this was a good feat, whether you see it or not. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna probably in the future, probably not anytime soon, because I definitely want to like sit with this album even longer, because I do feel like, because I did want to make a review for it like right when it came out or close to it, but like, I was like, no, I need to sit with this, and I'm like, I still feel like I'm not even giving it its proper flowers because like there's still so much about this album that like I'm just entranced with. Just like it's just I just need to wait for another time to talk about it. But dude, this is Kanye's best. This is his best. Definitely certain things still need to be polished, but like when it comes to his whole entire career, like this is his like official statement. And from this point, I want to hope that like this he grows from this more and better, and even help other people grow from this more and better. And because like this album has left me speechless. It's made me cry a lot. I almost cried at the listening party. Like, yeah, Donda West, rest in peace. You guys have a nice and blessed, safe day. See ya.
There's the odor of essence, and I double in pain as I flick through the past. Arrayed on my mind in the room where a bed is. As I gripped in a bag, I'm gripping a hand.